Welcome to Innovation in Education. I'm Dr. Tony Rayos Sutherland, and with me is Igor Lucic. And I'm saying that wrong, right? How do you pronounce that?
Igor Lucic. Yeah,
Okay,
you
I
got
was
it right.
close. I was close.
No, you got it. Yeah.
Okay. He's the president of the United Student Council of Houston Community College. So we're very happy to have you on the show.
I'm excited to join you, Dr. Tony.
Very good. Well, we want to explore the different aspects of innovation in education throughout our city, our nation, and the world. So we're here to delve into many new projects and educational endeavors that are opening doors to new discoveries that are helping students universally. Now, today and in our future shows, we want to look at project-based experiential learning that is student-centered. We want to look at how our next diverse, of course, generation is building skills which are relevant in both today and tomorrow's industry, workforce, and constant emerging technologies. And Igor is right in the middle of all of this. I mean, and he's so excited about everything. He keeps his interest in technology. He's an advocate for our students and all of that stuff. Tell me, why do you do all this?
Well, to answer your question, Dr. Tony, it's because we have just a large passion, right? Because Houston Community College sits at a crossroads of innovation as well as education. And we can capitalize on those skills in the classroom by learning, a lot of hard skills with the textbooks. But I think part of being a student is getting out there into the world, connecting with clubs, organizations, and kind of, putting your skills into check with the rest of the community.
Okay, very good. Sounds good to me. Well, today's show is going to be focused on Space Workforce 2030 and also on Inventathon at HCC. We're going to start with space, though. In honor of our recent launch of the spaceship Odysseus, nicknamed Odie, it's been over 50 years since we first landed on the moon. Now, researchers are looking to find water inside of craters that they believe may have ice inside of them due to the low temperatures at the South Pole on the moon. So, if they find the water there, then they can use it for rocket fuel. And that's pretty amazing. And then it just is a stop for any rockets, any spaceships to go, and it's like a gas station. So, they can refuel and go on to where? Mars. So I think that's pretty neat. But let's start in here with the Space Workforce 2030 and what's that all about? Tell me, you've been at the event, so tell me just a little bit about what it is.
Right. So overwhelmingly, it's a panel plus a movie presentation, Hidden Figures, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a very diverse panels of experts in the field and industry, delving from the NRO, NASA, as well as, some other space partnerships that we're happy to highlight.
Oh, wow. So we're gonna find out what they said, right?
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Well, let's see.
The goal of Space Workforce 2030 is to increase the representation of women and people of color in the space industry, doubling it by 2030. There's never been a more exciting time for people to pursue careers in space.
And I'm here to talk to and hopefully motivate a new generation of students to enter the space business through whatever field they're studying, whether it's engineering, science, accounting, contracting, technical work, but the space business is booming, and I'm here hopefully to inspire them at Houston Community College, right next to the Johnson Space Center, to prepare themselves for a new future.
It's so important for us here at BMC Software to make sure that we're thinking globally but acting locally. We've had a strong partnership with HCC for the last 3 years and have sponsored a myriad of events to today where we sponsored Hidden Figures to really inspire the future of space workforce. We, as a global community, are continuing to explore the outskirts of space, and it will only get bigger and better.
We are interested in creating conditions, environment, opportunities, and other avenues for young generation of students to be interested in STEM disciplines. And these disciplines will certainly be helpful not only to aerospace industry, but our economy in general.
We're sharing with our students about internships, but also challenges that the space industry is facing. And we're trying to get our brightest students to take part in our hackathons, solving for these global challenges that these industries are facing, that they're willing to pay for. And we're trying to recognize the students that have the best projects to take them forward to these national competitions and challenges. We're so proud to have partners like NASA, Space Foundation, the Space Workforce 2030, BMC Software, the Halal guys, all of them coming together to help us put this program together at Houston Community College.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back, and we're going to hear from some of the students who attended these events, faculty who take part in it, and HEC's industry partners who help sponsor these events.
So please don't go away. You're going to want to see this.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Innovation in Education. I'm Dr. Tony Rayo, and
I'm Igor Lucic.
there you go. So in this segment, we're going to talk to a student who was involved, who was there at the event Inventathon at HEC, and then also a faculty member who was there. And we're going to get some insights as to what all was going on. You're going to introduce who we're going to talk to?
I'm excited to announce that we're being joined by Emily Unzer, who is an honor student studying business here at Houston Community College, and who also leads the Future Business Leaders of America. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I was wondering, since you participated at the Inventathon at HEC, what would you say would be the most impactful aspect of the event for you? And how do you think that contributed to your personal and academic growth?
I think the most impactful part of the event for me was hearing the speakers speak and just learning about their experiences. So I remember I had the opportunity to hear from Mr. Jeff Grant, who helped design the NASA Hubble telescope. And I thought his experience and his journey throughout it all was really inspiring. And I also liked that he gave students some words of encouragement, and that was just like a really nice personal touch, and I really appreciated it. And during the second day of the Inventathon, Dr. Willie, who was the former president of the Chamber of Commerce here in Houston, he gave a little presentation about the resources offered to young entrepreneurs and students here in Houston. And that was actually really helpful, and I really appreciated it because I never knew there were that many resources, especially free resources, offered to people who want to either start their own business or seek mentorship from seasoned entrepreneurs.
Well, it seems like a pretty great crowd to have around you. How else do you think the inclusive environment and the emphasis on diversity impacted the Inventathon at HEC to your team on the dynamics and the solutions that you guys developed?
The inclusive environment allowed for a thought-provoking exchange of ideas within our team, which played a key role in designing our idea. I think that because we are such a diverse group, especially diverse in thought, we were able to see the problem from different perspectives. You know, because since we each have our own perspectives, and that actually kind of helped a lot during our weekly team meetings when we were thinking about how we could cater our product to a broader audience.
Excellent. Now, could you share any specific examples on how your team was able to leverage the NASA space technology expertise during this hackathon to address any kind of pressing issues related to Earth sustainability?
So our idea is essentially an iceless cooler that will cool itself. So we figured out how to do that, but the question still remained, how do we make sure that the temperature stays cold inside? For that, we had to research different types of insulation available at NASA's online database, and we found one that did exactly what we needed to do.
Well, thank you, Emily, for joining us today and taking the time. Now, I'm excited to announce that our next guest is going to be somebody very special.
Yes, it's going to be Dr. Sujit Mondal, and he's a chemistry professor here at Houston Community College. And he's a wonderful man that he spends so much time helping the students doing things that, just above and beyond. So let's welcome Dr. Mondale. Welcome to the show.
Hello, guys, and thank you for hosting me over here. So I'm very excited to be over here, and let's see how it goes.
Great. Now, like I said before, you spend a lot of time helping students with events like Inventathon. Why do you do that?
It's a very wonderful question you have asked. This is my 8 years as a full-time faculty at HCC, and I joined chemistry program. But my basic background is actually research and innovation. So I'm very passionate about this actual aspect. Now, why I always try to go to the Inventathon or like hackathon, you have to understand this is a very short time span, the collaborative event. Now, collaboration in the Inventathon or the hackathon, it brings students from a diverse group together. You must have an open mindset. You must have a strict planner to do your work to reach your goal. And you must be open to actually listen for each other ideas, debate, and lastly, experiential learning. So everybody has a diverse skill set. So when you learn that how the skill set can be utilized for your common goal, you are learning over here. And why I support this, HCC has the same goal, and HCC actually foster collaboration. And as they foster collaboration, it brings students together over here for Inventathon, and they grow students and make them more mature to challenge the life struggle or the life problem. It could be to the society, or it could be to the personal life problem, which you can be an innovator of yourself.
Well, I think it's great when we have these interdisciplinary collaboration. Sometimes we used to be like in silos. One department didn't know what the other one was doing, but it's amazing. I think of STEAM, where we talk about science and technology, engineering, arts, and what's it, math, of course.
Yeah, right. Big part.
But all of these are integrated. How do you use these events to inspire that integration between the students?
Well, that's a great question, and it is a loaded question. It has 3 parts. I'm going to tell you like this. As a faculty perspective, I need to know how I can mentor these young minds. They're bright young minds, they have ideas. Second, they need to know how to become disciplined to reach their goal. Now, over here in the Inventathon, there is a great advantage. If you look at, everybody has a different skill set. So if you can actually subdivide your workload, so you can go for a common goal. So reaching common goal is not a problem. Only problem is that sticking together as a team and you actually embrace each other idea. And I always try to encourage my team, like the Naval Schooler, what Emily and Dylan and Evie, they actually participated over here. They have a very diverse background. They came from business, science, and also engineering. So I was very happy to actually train them and mentor them. Even we have like meeting at 1 a.m. in the night. I did not actually skip myself off. I want to listen their idea, and I want to actually incorporate all those ideas to reach to our main goal. So when they see that their mentor is ready to do the work, it's just a matter of time that they will follow the same path. So it's once again the same scenario. If you want to create the change, be the leader.
I love it. Okay, well, now, of course, HCC has many goals, and
Correct.
one of them is that we are committed to experiential learning and student success. How do these events like Inventathon help in that regard?
That's a great question, and I'm going to tell you how I can actually bisect this one. So I already told on my first part of the section that Inventathon brings collaboration in a cross-functional or a multidisciplinary environment. ACC promote this collaboration, and what brings under this actually collaboration, experiential learning, then student equity, student success, inclusiveness. So students are ready to know that what they need to do to make a team better, because there is no question of like spending time, because your time frame is very small and you have to actually work through in that time span to reach to the goal. And that is why I think this is a great event, and the Inventathon goal is aligned with the HCC goal. And although we always say that inclusiveness, but I think this is a practical experiential learning of actually inclusiveness. I had a team where students come from science, engineering, business. So they have really a diverse idea and they just immersed into their idea. They're always ready to brainstorm and to find out the best idea for their team, which I really admire about my team called the Naval Schooler.
Well, I understand we work a lot with NASA. HCC works with NASA, and I think that's just wonderful.
Correct.
How does that advance the STEM or STEAM education? How does it inspire our next generation of innovators?
Right. I think it's a great question. I think ACC is always fostering collaboration. NASA is also promoting the STEM research or the STEM study program. So here it is. I looked at the data from like last 5 years or couple of years. So NASA has included 24,000 students. Among them, they have created 4,500 innovators. So if you look at that, that's a 20% number, which is a big, huge number. Secondly, Western Community College is providing the service to the community. There are many things the students that do not know about the program. ACC is always on the peak of this event to declare what are the advantages student can take it to become an innovator. And NASA is helping in that because they have a patent glossary. So you can sit down and search which patent you like and why they have invented. Then you actually look at your own thought process and aligned with those innovation, what new challenges you can solve it with the patent they already published. So you can improve upon their idea, or you could develop a new idea to solve the recent challenges. So I think this is a great thing. And that is why I personally think the NASA meeting is promoting the STEM study, and also HCC by hosting the Inventathon, promoting the STEM program over here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mondal. And thank you for all the work and dedication you put to our students. We really
thank you for having me over here, and thank you for hosting me.
Thank you. Well, we still have another person to talk to, right?
You're right. I'm going to take just one more short break, and we're going to get right back into it. So please hang on.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
Well, welcome back to Innovation in Education. I'm Dr. Tony Rail Sutherland, and
I'm Igor Lucic. I'm excited to talk about our next guest because she's joining us from BMC Software, which is an international company always involved in software and technology development that goes beyond and above and beyond to save our own planet.
And they are advocates of STEM programs too. They understand the importance of science, technology, engineering, math, the thing that I couldn't remember before, STEM. And they understand how all these things play a vital role in new discoveries for our world. So, of course, as I said, as you heard me earlier, I add the A to it and say STEAM because I think art is very important. And in fact, it just brings the STEM stuff all together. And did you know we even sent artwork to the moon in this last launch? They were mini moon sculptures by Jeff Koons. So here we go. Now let's welcome Wendy Rencher. She leads BMC Software's global corporate citizenship, DEI, sustainability, and ESG programs. That's a mouthful. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, as a corporate sponsor of programs at community college, what value do you see in supporting events like Inventathon and at HEC and others, particularly in terms of talent development and recruitment?
Well, I am actually a former community college student. I went to college at the mainland, Galveston Community College, Austin Community College. I think HCC is the only one I missed, and I'm so sorry. But
You're helping us.
Yes, absolutely. But I really feel that, and BMC as our philosophy really feels that it's very important to invest in our community. This is the most diversity in our country. We are right down the road from NASA. We work so closely with NASA, and the future of work is now. Technology is in our hands. It's meeting us where we're at, and our ability to be able to leverage that to skill, to drive economic empowerment, to build generational wealth, and to democratize really like learning in any type of way is exciting and thrilling. And HCC really has their pulse on like global community partners and serving our students locally to prepare them to become global business leaders. So that is one of the biggest reasons we invest with HCC. And we're also from here. We've been here for 42 years. We started in Houston. We have that big old building on Westheimer in the Tollway, and it's extremely important for us to maintain our roots.
Well, I know that one of your goals is to promote innovation and diversity in the workforce. Now, I know that you work with HCC and others. How does that collaboration help in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, prioritizing inclusion to drive innovation is extremely important. When you have diverse voices at the table, you're making the best products. And candidly, 4% of the world's population resides in the United States, meaning 95% of the consumers in the world don't live here. So our ability to be able to prepare local students and future business leaders, as I mentioned before, to be thoughtful and global business leaders is extremely important because you need to be able to think and have competency that spans across cultures. So when we talk about bringing other people to the table at different perspectives, it's extremely important in any kind of product development, whether that be hardware, software, clothing, food, that is extremely essential. This is the buying center of our products now, diverse perspectives.
There's something called the Community College Innovation Challenge that the National Science Foundation is involved in or started. Now, how can you elaborate on how these areas, what we're doing here, how these initiatives align with your company's strategic priorities?
Sure. Well, when anytime we decide to take up a hackathon, we actually embed in the prompts challenges of what our client bases might be current state having to deal with, and how possibly our products and our portfolio can be leveraged in different types of ways with new eyes and workflows. And when we do the hackathons, we've gotten some really incredible feedback and design and proof of concepts from students of things that we didn't even think about that we could do with our products to advance progress on sustainability and supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So that's why it's important to us. We only have like the context of our own current workforce. So when we get the opportunity to step outside of ourselves and ask the community and future business leaders and STEM students to take these prompts and build something with it, it's incredible.
Well, that is wonderful. And it's wonderful working with sponsors like you because you understand education and how it's important to prepare for the workforce and just for our world. So thank you so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And that was Wendy Rentschler from BMC Software. Now,
Well, I'm having a great time, I gotta say, Dr. Tony. But unfortunately, I think we're about almost out of time.
I think we are, unfortunately, but we do have some stuff for our next show. We're gonna have Saber. See, you have to help me with that.
Samir Saber is going to be joining us. He serves as the Dean of HEC's Digital Information Technology Center of Excellence, which is definitely a mouthful, but he's going to be coming us to talk to the new HEC AI bachelor's degree. And I have to admit, I am part of it.
Very good. So you'll be here with us on that. Very good. AI is great. Like you said, they have the new bachelor's degree. They have several bachelor's degrees at HCC, but AI is one of the first.
Right. First in the nation.
Wonderful. Well, we at Innovation in Education like to examine new ways of learning that will help all students prosper now and in the future. So until next time, keep looking forward and press on in whatever you're doing to help make this world a better place for all.
Take care.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.